So hello everybody and welcome here back up at BSN Network here today. I'm back here with another video. Today we have a lot of sports to talk about. We got the Nets. We got the Knicks and Rangers. Nets we'll talk about tomorrow. Nets, Knicks, and Rangers we'll talk about tomorrow. So we only have the Knicks and Rangers today. We have Jose Reyes, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens. Should they have made the Hall of Fame, and are they? Maybe next year. NBA MVP. Who really I think should be it right now at this point. The race is getting close, but who I really think should be it. And Paul George, will he be with the Thunder next year? I'm gonna run through really what they would be losing if he leaves them. If they give him away, the OKC Thunder. If they give him away, what they will be losing? They will be losing a lot. He's a very, very good player. I like him. I think he's a very good player. I like to watch him personally. I think he when you need him to get assists, he'll get you assists. When you need him to get steals, he'll get you steals. When you really need him to come up in big spots, he'll help you come up in big spots. But I'll talk more about that. That is actually our last topic of the day. We're going to finish off with two NBA things. But first, breaking news, Jose Reyes. So no, we're also going to... Wait, no. I already said that. I forgot that I said Jose Reyes. But we're also going to talk about Jose Reyes today. So, first, Jose Reyes, so far, he has signed a one-year deal with the New York Mets. He just signed it about an hour ago. He signed a one-year deal with the Mets. So the real question is this a good move, or is this a move that's just going to make the Mets kind of still seem like the Mets of last year? Obviously, Jose Reyes is getting to the point of his career where he is getting not older, I shouldn't say, but 34 years old is not too old, but it's not really that he's old. He's just played for many teams. He's ran into some trouble in his career. Tell you the truth, if I were really the Mets, I would have just let him go. I mean, he's a good player. He's a guy that can average. He's not a big home run hitter, what doesn't matter. He's a fast player. He's a decent shortstop, but I wouldn't call him a Derek Jeter in any means, but he's a decent shortstop. When you ask him to go out there, hit a single, he can sometimes do that for you. He's a player that's so-so. I wouldn't describe him as the best shortstop ever to live, or at least one of the top 10 shortstops ever to live. He has done some very, very good things in his career, meaning he has had some great seasons. He's also had some seasons, on the other hand, that weren't so great. Last year, for instance, had an okay season, didn't have the best season. He was okay last year. He was also, I think, partially injured last year a little bit. The one thing, though, I have to admit, which is good about Jose Reyes, and a lot of people, I think, notice this, is he's very fast. That helps him. That helps you any aspect of any sport. You really need kind of need to be fast. Not necessarily in football. You don't need to be fast if you're a lineman. Baseball, you don't really need to be fast if you're a pitcher. There's some positions that you don't need to be fast. On the infield, you need to be fast, though. Outfield, infield, you need to be fast. It's because, you got to cover a lot of ground sometimes. So that's one thing. That's one thing that he's very good at. He's very fast. So I have to admit, when you have a faster shortstop, I think you should feel more comfortable about not letting balls really go through the middle or anything. But yeah, definitely, he is, he's a player that's okay. But one thing that he does bring that is an advantage is his speed. Now let me tell you something, he's very fast. Although, it's only a one-year deal. It's nothing special. I say he's going to be gone by the end of this year. You never know. This year hasn't even started, but I think he'll be gone by the end of this year. Just because a one-year deal, signing a guy like Jose. I don't think this is a big sign. I don't think this is a big signing. I don't think Mets fans shouldn't get too happy about this, but Mets fans shouldn't get too mad about this either. I think Mets fans should feel okay about this. Maybe thinking, all right, this might give us some hope in how we're going to do in the season. I don't think he's going to do anything like notching 30 home runs and 100 RBIs and having over 300 batting average. I think his days of that are over, but still, he'll give you last year he gave the Mets a 246 batting average, 15 home runs, and 501 at-bats, so I guess you can call that reasonable. I think I would call that reasonable. Like I said, an average for an MLB player, my average personally is like a 250 to a 260. Batting average 270, 280 is a little bit above average. Above average 280 to 290. And then really above average is 300 and so on. Wherever you want to go, 900, 1,000. That'd be impossible. Almost. But he's a player I think I like him. I think he's a pretty good player. Now, he's not my favorite, but I like a lot of players in the MLB that are fast. I don't know why. I just feel like I love fast outfielders because they're always the players that dive and things like that, and they're perfect at that. I like fast MLB players. It's always interesting. It's not like when there's a little blooper in the infield. They make it more interesting, faster players. Unlike slow players, they just jog down. Faster players make it more interesting if they're going to be out or not. And, that's another thing. He hustles to the bag. I think he had that one walk-off hit I was watching during the summer of 2017. He had one walk-off hit. I think it was against like the Cincinnati Reds or something. It was a little blooper in the infield. I think it drove Conforto? No, not Conforto. I don't even know. I think it drove Cespedes. It drove somebody home. And they came home and the ball was still being thrown. They threw it to first base and he just beat it out. Something like that. I think it was against the Reds. I'm not too sure who was there, but that doesn't really matter who scored. As long as they score, it's a score. Win's a win, loss is a loss. But this is what's good about having a fast player. Is he makes it more interesting, and two, when you get moments like that, you can't rely on a slow player to try to beat that thing out. He's a fast player, very good, which is very good. Now, do I think he's a player that the Mets should be like, oh my God, yes, we have Jose Reyes back, let's go, yes. Do I think that? No. Just because, he's getting older, 34 years old, he seems to get injured a lot. In my opinion, he gets injured a lot. Whenever I'm watching a Mets game, you either see him or Cespedes injured. I don't know why. It might just be me. As Mets fans, you might think that. I don't know if any Mets fans watch this, but as Mets fans, do you really think, do you think that they get injured? Don't you think that too? Them two were injured. So one thing about Reyes, and that's the problem. That's why last year his numbers weren't really that great, is because what happened was you saw what happened. I mean, he got injured. I think he got injured. Yeah, he got injured, and then Cespedes gets injured, and that's what happened. That whole team, I think, at least one player on that team last year, besides, I think, Jacob deGrom, that whole pitching staff, I think, got injured. Besides Jacob deGrom, they got injured. Besides Jacob deGrom, I think they all got injured. I really think so. No, I went to a Mets game. I'm not a Mets fan. We got tickets. Went to go see the Mets. They lost 5-0. What's his name? But the Mets had their one pitcher, Jose Montero, their fifth starter. I remember he got knocked down the second or third inning. He did awful. It was fun. Go see the Mets lose. Michael Wacha pitched a complete game to it shutout. I remember. It's actually a pretty fun game. They have a nice stadium city. But okay, back to the point. I'm getting off topic now, but. So, the problem about Jose Reyes, and this is the thing when you get older, in any sports, right? Especially football or hockey, rougher sports. Baseball, I'm not saying it's easy to play. I'm not saying that it's easy to play and not get injured. Baseball, very easy to get injured. You run down to first base, you get injured. You could pull a hammy, you could run into a bag the wrong way, tear your ACL. Tommy John, what's his name? Guy in the Yankees farm system. Gleyber Torres, he got Tommy John jersey surgery going into the bag. So obviously for Jose Reyes, and he got Tommy John because his elbow went like a weird way, I think, or it wasn't sliding into a bag, or was that Mike Trout? I don't know, but that's the problem about Jose Reyes. He gets injured, and in baseball, you can get injured when you're fast, especially fast players. You go around a bag the wrong way or something like that, especially fast players. Sometimes they're going into first base so fast, they don't know what to do with their steps, and they go in so fast, and then they end up they get their knee all buckled up from because they twist it, something like that. So the Jose Reyes, that's the one thing. He gets lots and lots of, he gets injured a lot. But I still think he's a pretty good player. I think he's nothing to be so excited about just because I really don't think that, but I still think he's a good player, fun player to watch. So yeah, let me run through some of his stats and what the Mets are going to gain back. Jose Reyes in 2017 stats, and then we're going to talk about his MLB career stats. 501 at-bats, 246 average, 15 home runs, 58 RBIs, 24 stolen bases, and an OPS of 728. So even though he missed all those games, he still had 24 stolen bases, which kind of shows you it kind of still shows you that he still can be fast, I personally like fast players in the MLB. One of the players I always look out for is Billy Hamilton. If any of you guys know him, especially Mets fans, you got to watch out with him because they're in the NL. You play him at least once or twice a year. He's a very fast player, but so I think Jose Reyes, the thing about Jose Reyes, he's not a home run hitter. Two, he's like a guy, I don't know, his average is not the greatest. His average will be there, and then it will just drop. And then it'll be there again, and it'll just drop again. He's one of those players that can't maintain a steady average. Which in the MLB, any type of baseball-type league, you kind of need to maintain a steady average. Because all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, he's so good, and all of a sudden, oh my God, what happened? When it goes up and down, up and down. He's never really in the middle. He's always either high up or he's high down. I don't think last year he reached the 300 hitting mark. I don't think he did, but I think he reached around there, 260, I think, 270. I think he reached last year. Jose Reyes, the one thing about him is, Jose Reyes, he's ran into some problems in his life, right? He's gone to jail. So, and I think those days are over. But always what worries about me, even I'm not a Mets fan, but it still worries about me, with any type of player on any team, even if it's with the Patriots. Probably wouldn't worry me that much with the Patriots, but any type of player who joins a team, I always get worried. You, as a fan, you should get worried. And I'll tell you why. It's because I think his days, I said that just a few seconds ago, I think his days of getting arrested are over. But I still think it's a chance that he gets in trouble again. And when a player gets in trouble and you have his contract and he's barely playing, it's probably got to be quite annoying to see that. It's one thing that I think the Mets not really looked out for. I know he hasn't got arrested in a while, but he has gone through some problems. Anyway, now we move to his MLB career stats. He has a 286 batting average, 141 home runs, 703 RBIs, 512 stolen bases, and an OPS of 767. That's what I got for you. He's been playing in the league since 2003. His MLB debut was June 10th, 2003 was his debut. He's been in the league since 2003, so he has lots and lots of experience. I'm interested in what he's going to do. I don't usually watch the Mets, but I watch Quick Pitch usually on Saturday mornings. And I watch Quick Pitch on Saturday mornings, highlighting all the games. And the Mets are always, the teams who played that day always are on there, so I always get to see that. When baseball season gets back into full gear, Quick Pitch comes back on. At this moment, Quick Pitch isn't on because there's no games to highlight because MLB season's done. So yeah, I'm interested in what he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to do, if he's going to do better than last year, worse than last year, medium, about the same from last year, very big difference, things like that. I think a lot of Mets fans, I think some Mets fans, I can have a mixed feeling. I have a feeling that some Mets fans are like once they heard this, I think some Mets fans right now are like, you kidding me? And I think some Mets fans like now are like, all right. And I think some Mets fans right now, I don't think any really Mets fans jumping out of his seat. I don't think any real Mets fan, meaning diehard Mets fans, jumping out of his seat right now saying that Jose Reyes is back. I think some Mets fans are probably glad, but I don't think they're jumping out of their seat, flying into the sky, touching the moon, and coming back down and keep on doing that. I don't think they're doing that. I think some Mets fans might be, yeah, we have a shortstop, we have a player that we know can hit the ball and do some special things, but I don't, I bet you it's a 50-50. I really think there's a lot of Mets fans that do not like this decision, and obviously, like we said, the Mets want to kind of rebuild, and bringing back a player that's getting to the older part of his career and didn't have the best year last year, not really rebuilding, but what can you do about it, right? So I'm interested to see what he's going to do. So when we come back, we're going to talk about should have Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens made it to the MLB Hall of Fame. We're going to run through their stats and talk about why they didn't. Also, do we think they'll be in there next year? I know they just happened yesterday, but still, next year when we come back on the BSN Network. So we're back here by the BSN Network. So now we move to Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Do we think they should have made the Hall of Fame this year? Well, of course, they didn't make the Hall of Fame. That's what we're talking about. Do we think they should make it next year? That's what we're going to be talking about right now. Personally, I think they both were absolutely amazing. Barry Bonds had 762 home runs. You can't get anything better than that. Roger Clemens was absolutely amazing on the pitching side of things, played with both the Yankees and the Red Sox. He was just very good. One big, ginormous problem that could change your career is they both took steroids. Now, there's a chance you still make the Hall of Fame when you take steroids, but the chances of it are very slim. Now, players that do bad when they don't take steroids, usually they don't make it. But when they're taking steroids and they do really good, they make it. Steroids, personally, to me, is dumb. First off, if you don't know what steroids is, you probably all do know. If you don't know what steroids is, it's like a drug. Not really a drug, but it's like something that you take and it makes you more powerful, meaning it makes you hit the ball more. Don't ever do it. It's a bad idea. One, it could change your career in sports, and two, actually you take too much, it could actually end your life pretty early. I heard a story about one NFL player. He ended his life pretty early because he took so much of it. It's not good for your body, to tell you the truth, to take in all of it. It's almost like an artificial flavoring, but to make you more powerful. Something like that. There's one way to think about it. I don't really know how to I don't really know like how to pronounce it. Like not pronounce it, but like explain it that much because I'm not like a steroid scientist where like I know everything about it. But it's from what I've heard and what I know, it's something that makes you more powerful, and it's used in every sport because every sport you need power. Besides some sports, you don't need really power. Those really aren't sports. Every sport it takes some sort of muscle. If it's your arms, if it's your legs, if it's your hands, any type of sport takes some sort of thing in your muscles, and that's what steroids pretty much do. They help you get more powerful. A-Rod didn't. Everybody's saying A-Rod should have made the Hall of Fame. A-Rod should have made the Hall of Fame. A-Rod should have made the Hall of Fame. You kidding me? Alex Rodriguez should have made the Hall of Fame. I can't stand Alex Rodriguez. Not that I can't stand him. I just think that he was better off without. I think Barry Bonds didn't need to take steroids. Roger Clemens didn't need to take steroids. And A-Rod. 3 players right there. They did not need to take steroids. They were fine without steroids. Especially Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds would have been in, like, way earlier than that he's still not in. Technically, if you think about it, you run through their stats and things like that, they technically are Hall of Famers. They're just not really in the Hall of Fame. But technically, if they never took steroids and they're really this good, 762 home runs, you would be in the Hall of Fame. They would put you in the Hall of Fame the second you retire. They would ask you to come in. But since they took steroids, once again, that's what everybody says. And no one really can tell this. No one can ever tell this. This is why steroids is so stupid, because you can never tell. This is why it's so hard to make it to the Hall of Fame when you take steroids. It's because no one would have ever known. What if Barry Bonds didn't take steroids? Would they have ever known that would he really have ever had 762 home runs? Or would he have had like 500, 600 maybe? Would he have ever had? How many home runs did he hit when taking steroids? That's why I wish players would just be honest, because we could tell. Player starts taking it, like, let's just say player starts taking it today, and he ends it in March. You could have said, today. They probably could have matched up all the home runs they had, all the RBIs, everything, if you really want to take the time and tell you how much he really had with steroids and things like that. But players these days tell lies. That's all it is telling lies. No one tells the truth these days. That's why you can't trust anybody. So, should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame? Personally, I think he should. Maybe not this year, maybe next year he will. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I know he took steroids and anything, and trust me, I know. Steroids are stupid. I think they're one of the dumbest things. I don't even know why whoever invented steroids, they're dumb. Or if steroids was really ever invented by somebody. But however steroids came into this country, or world, whatever you want to say, it's just dumb. It could change your life, and it really doesn't help you out in sports. It does help you out, but in a bad way. They check for that stuff too, which is just dumb, because you're gonna get caught taking steroids. That's what sports these days. All these superstars, none of them are safe. You have no private. Nothing's private when you're a superstar. I mean, when you're at the grocery store, it's on Twitter somehow. Everybody's like, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. Da-da-da is at the grocery store. I don't know really what athlete to do, but he or she's at the grocery store. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Breaking news. You have no privacy. You can't, whatever step you take, you're either taking a wrong step. Most of the times it's a wrong step, just because that's how media is this day, or it's a right step, which is very rare because media has always got problems. But anyway, so you're going to get caught, which is dumb. I don't know why players even try to do it. So Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. I'll talk about Barry Bonds first. Barry Bonds had a 298 average, what I like to call above average, 762 home runs, 1,996 RBIs, 4 away from 2,000, 514 stolen bases, and an OPS of 1.51. That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, those numbers right there, they plot me out of my seat. They raise me up. I mean, those numbers are crazy. 2 away from finishing lifetime, not in a season, lifetime 300 batting average. If he maybe had hit more ball, if he hit at least 2 more hits, he would have been up there, but what can he do about it? And I bet you that's him too. He's like, oh, if I only had 4 more RBIs, if I was up at bat getting if the 4 times I was up at bat when runners were on and I didn't get it done, those could have been the 4 times to get 2,000 RBIs. So do I think Barry Bonds, not this year, but next year or in 2020, should be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. I know he took steroids. I know all that. And this is why it's taken that long. Is because he retired. What? He retired 2007. So he's been out of the league now. He's been out of the league for about 11 years now, I would say. Yeah, about 11 years. So you're out of the league for 11 years and you still haven't found your way to get in the Hall of Fame. There's a problem. Also, next year, he's competing against Mariano Rivera, which is going to be that. Mariano Rivera is probably going to be a first round. He's going to be a first rounder. And in 2020, if he doesn't make it next year, 2020 it's probably going to be Derek Jeter, first rounder. So Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens got some huge competition going up if they want to make the Hall of Fame this 2019 or 2020. So the real question is, do I think Barry Bonds should make the Hall of Fame? Yes. I know he took steroids, and I know steroids can end your career, but I still think the numbers that he put up, and I think 97% of those home runs were hit when he wasn't taking steroids, and I think only 3% of those home runs were hit when he was taking steroids. So, because they check periodically if you're taking steroids or not. I don't know if it's like every month, every 3 weeks or something, but they check every once in a while to make sure that you're not taking steroids, because they want a league is steroid free. That's what every sports wants. Every sports league wants. So that's what we got for Barry Bonds. Now we move to Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens as well took steroids when he was in the MLB. He was a very, very good player. I think he's a player that could make it to the Hall of Fame. The problem about Roger Clemens, he did have a little of an attitude to himself. He wasn't the nicest of people. I think it was against the Mets or the Red Sox when the guy broke the bat. I forget who it was. So I wasn't around back then. But when I think one of the players broke a bat, he took the bat and he threw it back at him, and that started up a lot. That's something that he will be remembered for. You don't want to be remembered for something like that, and that's why a lot of people these days don't really like him. And sure enough, I think it was against the Red Sox. Sure enough, he ended up playing with the Red Sox like a few years later. I think he played with the Reds. He played with the Red Sox first round. He was drafted by the Red Sox in the first round. But he was good. He played from 84 to 07. He was pretty good. He started with the Red Sox, then went to the Yankees. One thing though, it's not the worst, but the 3.12 ERA as an ending of his career is not the best. You'd probably expect that of a guy like Roger Clemens to have an ERA of maybe like 2.80, 2.90, something like that, but it's just, something like, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. His other numbers are great. I've said this before, wins-loss to me in MLB don't really matter. For pitchers, I don't really matter because you could lose a game. It's weird how the win-loss system goes in the MLB because you could lose a game, but you could allow in 1 run. I forget how it goes. I would have to pull it up and read it, but it's something like it's an undecided. It's I forget how it goes, but it's sometimes if you get pulled out, it depends on how the mid reliever does. And sometimes it goes by how your team does. It's a little weird. You could lose a game and allow 1 run, and that's good, 1 run. But, it's just the win-loss really don't matter to me. He does have a good win-loss record. He has a 354 wins and 184 losses. Like I said before, 3.12 ERA. He has 4,916.2 innings pitched, 4,672 strikeouts, and a WHIP of 117. Looking at those numbers, Roger Clemens was very good, I have to admit. Do I think, though, he should make it to the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I think with some of the things, not just taking steroids, some of the things that he did in his career, I think took him back to a little bit, maybe got some people out there a little like, come on, man, like, be real here, please. I have to admit, I think he did have an attitude to himself. He really did. He wasn't the humblest person either. I don't know. He never really gave me a great taste to my mouth when I would talk about him or hear about him. So, I don't know. But, anyway, so, do I think he should make the Hall of Fame? You know what? Yes, I do. I think Roger Clemens, this is so hard. I don't know. I cannot think. Do you think, really, comment down below, do you think Roger Clemens should make the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I think it could go one or two ways. I think it could be no Hall of Fame. He has the Hall of Fame numbers, but the attitude and the steroids combined, it makes you kind of more taken away from what you really did on the field. I don't know. I think that attitude and no numbers might make him fall back a little shy, but the attitude and the steroids might make him fall back a little bit in the Hall of Fame column, but with the numbers it kind of makes him go forward a little bit. So he's in the middle. He's 50% no, but 50% yes. I don't know. I think it could go one or two ways. I really can't make a decision on this. I really can't. So anyway. That's part one. Breaking news. We're going to talk about it immediately when we come back. Christian Yelich reportedly traded to the Miami Marlins. Breaking news. So that's big. Christian Yelich reportedly traded to the Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry. To the Miami Marlins. What am I talking about? He went from the Miami Marlins. So I'm going to, over my break, I'm going to see what happened. Everything was happening. Derek Jeter's really tearing apart that team. That team's going to be nothing. It's almost like cutting your lawn too much. It's just going to be straight up dirt, no grass. Where it's like almost, I don't know how to put it like something else, but yeah, it's like cutting your lawn too much. It's going to be dirt. He's ripping apart that team. Oh my goodness. There's nobody. Besides Marcelo Zuna, I think he's still there. I think D. Gordon might be gone, I think. That team right now is just gone. There's no one. It's like the Miami Marlins aren't even a thing. Derek Jeter, though, he's making some good moves. You might think they're stupid, but he said he's going to rebuild them, and let me tell you something, he's really rebuilding. He's destroying there. So when we come back, it's going to be part 2. Thanks for watching. Part 1, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.